Today's video I'm going to be talking about how to create color palettes and how to manipulate colors using Adobe Illustrator. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into the content. Now, first thing, you need to have your default palette. You need to have your palettes that you want to use to create art. So what I tend to do most of the time, I go to Adobe Color to get palettes, to get different palettes. So like, let's say you create a new shape here. Let me use a square, and then you should have the color tab option, or you just click here and then you can just change the color of whatever is in that square. And then once you are done with doing that, now in order for you to change it or something, you can go to this place. Like I said earlier, you can come here to change the color. You can come to this place here, up here, and then you go down, you see a list of colors. Now you can now pick colors from this area. Like, these are the colors I got from Adobe Color, so you can pick whichever color palette you want, your favorite color palette. So in my own, I'm going to do this. I'll just pick one random color, and you see it comes here now. Since I have lots of color palettes, I can go to the left or to the right. I'm going to the right, you're seeing lots of color palettes. I'm going back to the left, you're seeing lots of color palettes. So we can come here and then pick some other colors here. And now let's say I make it 5 by holding Alt. I duplicate this in 5, and which will make it 5 square rather. So this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Okay, so I'll give this color, I'll give this one 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 this color. Now another tip for picking your colors or using colors is you should go to the color tab, which is this one. If you can't find it, you should go to window or view. You would see the color tab, but that is this one. So that's the color tab. So yes, now for Illustrator, it doesn't have a color wheel where you can pick colors, but that one is applicable to Photoshop, but this is not a Photoshop tutorial. This is for Illustrator. So the same thing is applicable to changing like colors. Now say you want to change all these colors. Now you just, from here, you can go to the next one and then just tap on the first color, and then maybe change it to this, and change it to this, and change it to this, and change it to this. Now one thing about Adobe Illustrator that is cool is this. Let me delete this palette up. Let me use the one I have down here. So one thing I like about Adobe Illustrator is this. Once you have colors like this, like, you can do some beautiful, like, okay, this place, it has this color panel at the top left. Like, just come to these 3 lines here. That's your settings for this tab group. So you tap on that and then you go to complement color. Let's assume you pick one color there, and then you go to complement. Like, you see, it gives a color that can complement like with the rest. Like, you can just pick the next one and then go to complement. You see, so you can do, let me create a different one. Let me just create a new square. I give it a random color, and then let me duplicate that. Okay, by holding Alt, I'll duplicate it and give it, holding Alt, duplicate this. Yes, let me give it this, duplicate this, let me give it this, duplicate this, let me give it this, duplicate this, let me give it this. Okay, So all these colors seem to be, they don't have good harmony, because to the right it's kind of cold, to the left it's also kind of cold. So like there's no warmth here, there's no, and when you're picking colors, like your colors should have like there are like various ways of picking colors on the spectrum. You can pick colors like complements, like in a triad. You can pick analogous colors, you can pick quadrilateral colors, and so on. But this spectrum right here is just like a linear spectrum. There is no, I don't know if Adobe Illustrator, the one for 2021, will have that, but I'm currently using the one of 2019. So if Adobe can infuse that in Illustrator, that'll be good. So yes, let's see. Okay, let me change its color, because if you're picking good colors and you need warmth in your color, you should go like to the down, like you should go down. Let's assume you pick green. Let me use green for example. Use green. Now you want the next color to be like dark green. If you want to go dark green, what you will do is that you will go down and then you go to the left to make it warm. Yes, that'll give you dark green. Or better still, to make that better, like you can just okay, come to this place here, the settings, like you would reduce the green here, and then you would increase this red to the right. That's to make it warmer. That's what it's like when you're making a color like darker. And the opposite, like, is for if you're trying to make it bright. Say you give it this color here, and then you want to make it a brighter green. So what you would do, you would increase this green here. Now, okay, this is here, so maybe the next thing to do will be this one down here. That should be the blues, and then you try to increase this one to make it colder, you see, and that's more like a bright green of this. So that's another way to work with colors. Now let's see. Okay, there's grayscale if you're working in grayscale, and there's HSB. I have no idea what that means. Oh, I think that's hue, saturation, and brightness. Yeah, that's hue, saturation, and brightness. Okay, the next one is CMYK. Now CMYK colors are if you want to maybe work on prints, like what they will look like when they are being printed. But I recommend staying with RGB, because if you are going to be working on your computer, you need RGB colors, because those will make the colors pop out, so you see what they are like before you get to print them. Printing is for CMYK only. That is, once you've printed the work, the color you see on the paper or on the print, it's in CMYK. And now working with CMYK, like working with RGB rather, it's better to work with RGB. So once you print it out, regardless of the CMYK nonsense that the computer gives you, it will look cool because it's an RGB and the colors pop. Like if the colors pop in the computer, that means when you print it out, it's going to be, eye catchy. But if you work with CMYK, let me use this green now for example, and I give it this, it's kind of has a different, it doesn't look too good. So CMYK will make your work kind of dark, make your work kind of pale. But when you work with RGB, you see the spectrum, it changes, it just looks so vibrant. And then there's WebSafe RGB. I have never used this, I have no idea what that does. There's invert, complement. I already explained what complement is. That is when you tap on the color and then you come to, and then you tap this. That's working with complements. You tap this and then you would come to this complement, and you just give something that is cool. So that is about creating a palette. Now let us create an actual palette. So because I just use this one for, so let me use this. Now I would give it, let's work with let's say colors that, like, let's not use any of my colors here. Let's just create something cool and new. So let me create one. Let me pick from in between these blues, and then this one I'll pick here, and this one I'll pick here, this one I'll pick here, and this one I'll pick here. No, yes, here. Now this color palette which I just created, they are actually kind of fancy. I mean, they look like, pale fancy kind of colors. They don't look so I don't know what to describe them, but they look bright. They look bright. So ordinarily, this is how you create a palette. If you feel you've done something like this, then the final one should be dropping something above and then maybe giving it red or orange. Yeah, orange. Now once you've given it this orange, now I think the next thing to do is to so after creating this, now the next thing to do is to reduce the opacity of this thing here. So you'd come here and then reduce it to like 15 or 28, depending on your choice. Now let's get our actual palettes. Now you see this here, right? Like the way it is now. Now you pick from here, like, you already have the orange, which you reduce its opacity to 25, and then having those other colors which were bright behind it. So what you do for this one is this. Now you tap on this and then you select this color here, or that didn't work. Okay, hold on, let me do something. Okay, so actually it is meant to be this way. You're supposed to take this the colors here, that's these 5 bright colors, to Photoshop or any software that that has things like overlay and softlight and all those things. Now for some reason in Illustrator I can't do that, so this is how I would do that. I would delete this, right? So now about this, I'll drag this 5 and then we'll go to Photoshop and then drop them here. What just happened? Okay, so now we have the 5 here, and so we're just going to create a new layer above that there. So you see these 5, they're like small objects in Photoshop. So creating a new layer, now we can come to color here. Oh, see what I was talking about, the color wheel. Now it's in Photoshop. Now you see it has some various options like hue cube, brightness cube, color wheel, grayscale slider, RGB sliders, HSB sliders, CMYK sliders, lab sliders, web color sliders, so on. So I prefer to use color wheel because I use this for digital painting a lot and to select my colors. So now picking colors. Now remember I said before that we should use orange, so let's just pick a random color here. Let's try to use the same orange. Let's see what that'll give us. I think this is good enough for orange. Okay, so we will fill that in, and then once that is done, then we'll go to overlay or soft light, whichever one you want to use. You can just toggle with this, like you can play around it. You can see we're having different kind of spectrums around. Oh, okay, I think I see hue and color. You can see this. So but let's not go beyond the overlay. Let's use overlay. Now using the overlay, we can create like 5 different squares. Let's see, and then we'll select this color here, we'll fill it in this one. Now with alt I can move this here using alt by holding alt and releasing. Now I'll select this color and then I'll fill that in, and then using alt again I would move this, like duplicate that, and then select this color here and then fill that in here, and then using alt, moving this, select this color down and fill that in. If you don't know what I'm using to fill in, if you don't know the shortcut I'm using G as a shortcut to fill in colors, or you can just come here, fill in colors, paint bucket tool. So holding alt, I am moving this again, sorry about that. Now I am picking this guy and then fill it in. Now let us see the difference between, let me toggle this off. Now can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? Now we have sexy looking color palettes, and we have this good looking color palette here. So this is the original, now this is the color palette. Now using that particular orange I said earlier, we can use that to create multiple palettes. Now we can use going to something like multiply. Now using multiply, we can, let me duplicate this, Ctrl J, and then bringing this down here. Now I'll lock this layer for some reason, I don't know why I have, like, whatever. So I'll log this, and then I will use this, select this color here, and then come to my brush tool, and then let me change what I have here. Let me use this brush. Now I will, okay, now I'll use it to select, I will brush, paint over this. Now I would select this color to, you can use your mouse to do this, but I'm using my, let me use my mouse. I'm pretty sure some beginners don't have stylus and the drawing tablet, so select this using my mouse, and then I'll just paint over it. Oops, that was hard. Okay, so I'll paint over this, just trying to be careful so I don't do so much. Now select this, so I'm currently using my mouse to work on this. Now I'll select the last one and I'll paint over it like this. Now let me toggle this off. Now you can see we have like 3 cool palettes here. Now this is looking like green, this is looking like brown, this is looking like red, this is looking like orange, and this is looking like a different form of orange, which I have no idea. So maybe let's say we need different color palettes. This orange that is here, we can change its color to a different color, or to green, or to purple, and then we'll fill that in. You can see the color have changed. So once, now let me show you how to save a color palette from here. So let me close this one. So let's have the palette which we created, which is this one. So in order for us to make this our palette, now in order for us to save this as a palette, this is what you would do. Now let's go here. Okay, let me go to my preset manager. Delete this. This is my cyberpunk color palette, but I'll delete this for the purpose of this video. Done. That doesn't mean it has been deleted for good. No, it's still saved there. I just removed it from my swatches panel. So what to do for this one now. We would come here. See, now the next step, you once you go out of this, you see this eyedropper tool automatically, so you just select this and then you see add to swatches. Yeah, swatch 1, click OK. See, now that one is already there. Now select the second one, add to swatches, and then click OK. And then third one, add to swatches, click OK. Okay. Now select the fourth one. Which is this one. Add to swatches. Click OK. And then select the fifth one. Add to swatches. And click OK. Now we're done with that one. Now the next step is to finally save the palettes. Now go to these 3 dots here, preset manager. Now we see these palettes now. That select all 5 of them, save sets. Now we have different options of saving here. We can save it as ACO. ACO might only work in Photoshop, but I don't know. No, let me show you. I guess I'm supposed to have, I can save this one to Photoshop, but I'm supposed to have a different alternative in order to use this somewhere else. Okay, let me show you guys. This is ACO now, this ACO files. So I'll just save this as color palette 1. Now let me press enter. Now that palette has been saved. Now let me delete this and press done. Now in order to show you guys that has been saved, we go back to preset manager and then load palettes, and then it should be here, color palettes 1. Okay, now it has been saved. It's here. Now done. In order to save this as something you'd use for Illustrator, what you just do is come here, save swatches for exchange, and then you just save it as color palette 1, which has been saved for exchange. Now now in order to use the saved palette in Illustrator, since we saved it before as swatches for exchange, what we'll do is that we'll load swatches, and then would come down here which it says ACO files, so we'll just change it to swatch exchange, and then you see our palette here, and then copy. Now we'll just close this, and then we'll go back to Illustrator, and then once we're in Illustrator, what we'll do, we'll go to these 3, and then we'll go to open swatch library, and then other library, then we'll come to swatches, and then we'll paste that one here. Paste. Now it's here. Now open. Now we have, now as you can see, we have the palettes here, so we can use that in this, we can use this palette here to change this color. So here's the original. Now let me just duplicate this one and then show you the actual palette which we created. Now let's do this. I'll select this one, I'll give it this color here. I'll select this one, I'll give it this color here. I'll select this one, I'll give it this color here. I'll select this guy, give it this color here. I'll select this guy and give it this color here. Now you can see there is a difference. Oops, sorry, you guys can see this clearly. Okay, let me bring this here. Sorry, my dog has adjusted. So now you guys can see the way they are. So now this is the color palette which we generated, and this is the original one which we created in Illustrator. Now this is the one we created in Photoshop, which I was able to save here. Now lastly, I just want to give you guys a bonus tip before I end this video. Okay, I already said this. When you're picking dark colors, you should make sure, or if you're picking a color, like going to the darker side of any color, let's say you pick this green and then you want to go to the dark shade, like you should go down to the, to the saturated area. Then if you want to make it brighter, you have to go up and then go to the cooler side, which is the less saturated area, to make it cool. Now that's all for this video on color theory, and I mean that's all for color palettes and picking of colors. So maybe we're going to look more on color theory in my next video. Now if you like this, please don't forget to subscribe and share my content, and like this video and turn on the bell icon for your notification when I post a new video so you get notified. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.